ഹലോ ഫ്രണ്ട്സ്, വിർച്വൽ സ്പേസ് യൂട്യൂബ് ചാനലിൻ്റെ പുതിയൊരു വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. Rapid financing instrument and rapid credit facility are related to the provisions of lending by which one of the following: Asian Development Bank, International Monetary Fund, United Nations Environment Program Finance Initiative, World Bank. Answer option B, International Monetary Fund. With reference to the Indian economy, consider the following statement. An increase in national effective exchange rate (NER) indicates the appreciation of rupee. An increase in the real effective exchange rate indicates an improvement in trade competitiveness. An increasing trend in domestic inflation relative to inflation in other countries is likely to cause an increasing divergence between NER and REER. Which one of the above statements are correct? Answer option C. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statement. If inflation is too high, Reserve Bank of India is likely to buy government securities. If the rupee is rapidly depreciating, RBI is likely to sell dollars in the market. If interest rates in the USA or European Union were to fall, that is likely to induce RBI to buy dollars. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option B. With reference to G20 Common Framework, consider the following statements. It's an initiative endorsed by the G20 together with Paris Club. It is an initiative to support low-income countries with unsustainable debt. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option C. Both statements are correct. With reference to the Indian economy, what are the advantages of inflation index bonds? Government can reduce the coupon rates on its borrowing by way of IIBS. IIBS provide protection to the investors from uncertainty regarding inflation. The interest received as well as capital gains on IIBS are not taxable. Which one of the statements given above are correct? Option A. With reference to foreign-owned e-commerce firms operating in India, which of the following statements are correct? They can sell their own goods in addition to offering their platform as a marketplace. The degree to which they can earn big sellers on their platform is limited. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option B. Which of the following activities constitute real sector in the economy? Farmers harvesting their crops, textile mills converting raw cotton into fabrics, a commercial bank lending money to a trading company, a corporate body issuing rupee denominated bonds overseas. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A. Which one of the following situations best reflects indirect transfers, often talked about in media recently with reference to India? An Indian company investing in a foreign enterprise and paying taxes to the foreign country on the profits arising out of its investment. A foreign company investing in India and paying taxes to the country of its base on the profits arising out of its investment. An Indian company purchases tangible assets in a foreign country and sells such assets after their value increases and transfers the proceeds to India. A foreign company transfers shares and such shares are derived their substantial value from assets located in India. Option D. With reference to the expenditure made by an organization or company, which one of the following statements are correct? Acquiring a new technology is capital expenditure. Debt financing is considered capital expenditure, while equity financing is considered revenue expenditure. Answer option A. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statements. A share of the household financial savings goes towards government borrowings. Dated securities issued at market-related rates in auction form a large component of internal debt. Which one of the following above statements are correct? Option C. Consider the following statement. Pursuant to the report of H.N. Sanyal Committee, the Contempt of Courts Act 1971 was passed. The Constitution of India empowers the Supreme Court and High Courts to punish for contempt of themselves. The Constitution of India defines civil contempt and criminal contempt. In India, the Parliament is vested with powers to make laws on contempt of court. Which one of these statements are correct? Option B. With reference to India, consider the following statements. Government law officers and legal firms are recognized as advocates, but corporate lawyers and patent attorney are excluded from recognition as advocates. Bar councils have the power to lay down the rules relating to legal education and the recognition of law colleges. Which of these statements are correct? Option C. Consider the following statements. A bill amending the Constitution requires a prior recommendation of the President of India. When a Constitution amendment bill is presented to the President of India, it is obligatory for the President of India to give assent. Constitution amendment bill must be passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha by a special majority, and there is no provision for joint sitting. Which of the statements are given above are correct? Option B. Consider the following statement. The Constitution of India classifies the ministers into four ranks: cabinet ministers, minister of state with independent charge, minister of state, and deputy minister. Total number of ministers in the union government, including the prime minister, shall not exceed 15% of the total number of members in Lok Sabha. Which of the statements are correct? Option B. Which of the following are exclusive powers of Lok Sabha? To ratify the declaration of emergency, to pass a motion of no confidence against the Council of Ministers, to impeach the President of India. Select the correct answers using the code given below. Option B. With reference to anti-defection law in India, consider the following statements. The law specifies that a nominated legislator cannot join any political party within 6 months of being appointed to the House. The law does not provide any time frame within which the presiding officer has to decide a defection case. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option B. Consider the following statement. Attorney General of India and Solicitor General of India are only officers of the government who are allowed to participate in the meetings of the Parliament of India. According to the Constitution of India, the Attorney General of India submits his resignation when the government which appointed him resigns. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. With reference to the writs issued by courts in India, consider the following statements. Mandamus will not lie against a private organization unless it is entrusted with a public duty. Mandamus will not lie against a company even though it may be a government company. Any public-minded person can be petitioner to move the court to obtain the writ of quo warranto. Which of the statements are correct? Option C. With reference to Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, consider the following statements. Private and public hospitals must adopt it. As it aims to achieve universal health coverage, every citizen of India should be part of it ultimately. It has seamless portability across the country. Which of the above statements are correct? Option D. With reference to Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. As per the rule of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha, the election of Deputy Speaker shall be held on such date as the Speaker may fix. There is a mandatory provision that the election of a candidate as Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha shall be from either the principal opposition party or the ruling party. The Deputy Speaker has the same power as the Speaker when presiding over the sitting of the House and no appeal lies against his ruling. The well-established parliamentary practice regarding the appointment of Deputy Speaker is that the motion is moved by the Speaker and duly seconded by the Prime Minister. Which of the given statements are correct? Option A. Among the following crops, which one is the most important anthropogenic source of both methane and nitrous oxide? Cotton, rice, sugarcane, wheat. Option B. System of rice intensification. Cultivation in which alternate wetting and drying of rice fields is practiced results in reduced seed requirement, reduced methane production, reduced electricity consumption. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option D. Which one of the following lakes of West Africa has become dry and turned into a desert? Lake Victoria, Lake Fagubine, Lake Oguta, Lake Volta. Answer option B. Gandikota Canyon of South India was created by which one of the following rivers? Kaveri, Manchira, Pennar, Tungabhadra. Option C. Consider the following pairs. Namchabarwa, Garhwal Himalaya, Nanda Devi, Kumon Himalaya, Nokrek, Sikkim Himalaya. Which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? Option B. The term Levant, often heard in the news, roughly corresponds to which of the following regions? Region along the eastern Mediterranean shores, region along North African shores stretching from Egypt to Morocco, region along Persian Gulf and Horn of Africa, the entire coastal areas of Mediterranean Sea. Option A. Consider the following countries: Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Which of the above have borders with Afghanistan? Option C. With reference to India, consider the following statement. Monazite is a source of rare earths. Monazites contain thorium. Monazite occurs naturally in the entire Indian coastal sands in India. In India, government bodies only can process or export monazite. Option D. In the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs in first half of the month of June, second half of the month of June, first half of month of July, second half of the month of July. Option B. Consider the following pairs: Pokhara wetland Punjab, Renuka wetland Himachal Pradesh, Rudrasagar Lake Tripura, Chasangota Lake Tamil Nadu. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? Option B. Consider the following: Arogya Setu, Kovin, DigiLocker, Diksha. Which of the above are built on top of the open source digital platform? Option D. With reference to Verb 3.0, consider the following statement. Verb 3.0 technology enables people to control their own data. In Web 3.0 world, there can be blockchain based social networks. Web 3.0 is operated by users collectively rather than a corporation. Which of the statements above are correct? Option D. With reference to software as a service, consider the following statement. SaaS buyers can customize the user interface and can change data fields. SaaS users can access their data through their mobile devices. Outlook, Hotmail, and Yahoo Mail are forms of SaaS. Which of the above statements are correct? Option D. Which one of the following statements best reflects the idea behind the fractional orbital bombardment system, often talked about in media? A hypersonic missile is launched into space to counter the asteroid approaching the Earth and explode it in the space. A spacecraft lands on another planet after making several orbital motions. A missile is put into a stable orbit around the Earth and deorbits over a target on the Earth. A spacecraft moves along a comet with same speed and places a probe on its surface. Answer option C. Which of the following is the context in which the term qubit is mentioned? Cloud services, quantum computing, visible light communication technologies, wireless communication technologies. Option B. Consider the following communication technologies: closed circuit television, radio frequency identification, wireless local area network. Which of the above are considered short range devices or technologies? Option D. Consider the following statements. Biofilms can form on medical implants within human tissue. Biofilms can form on food and food processing surfaces. Biofilms can exhibit antibiotic resistance. Which of the above statements are correct? Option D. Consider the following statements in respect of probiotics. Probiotics Probiotics are made of both bacteria and yeast. The organisms in probiotics are found in foods we ingest, but they do not naturally occur in our gut. Probiotics help in the digestion of milk sugars. Which of the above statements are correct? Option C. In the context of vaccines manufactured to prevent COVID-19 pandemic, consider the following statements. The Serum Institute of India produced this COVID-19 vaccine named Covishield using mRNA platform. Sputnik V vaccine is manufactured using vector-based platform. Covaxin is an inactivated pathogen-based vaccine. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option D. If a major solar storm reaches the Earth, which of the following are possible effects on the Earth? GPS and navigation system could fail. Tsunamis could occur at equatorial region. Power grids could be damaged. Intense auroras could occur over much of the Earth. Forest fires could take place over much of the planet. Orbit of the satellites could be disturbed. Shortwave radio communication of the aircraft flying over polar region could be interrupted. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option C. Climate Action Tracker, which monitors the emission reduction pledges of different countries, is a database created by coalition of research organizations, wing of International Panel of Climate Change, committee under United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, agency promoted and financed by United Nations Environment Program and World Bank. Option A. Consider the following statement. The Climate Group is an international non-profit organization that drives climate action by building large networks and runs them. The International Energy Agency, in partnership with the Climate Group, launched a global initiative, EP100. EP100 brings together leading companies committed to driving innovation in energy efficiency and increasing competitiveness while delivering on emission reduction goals. Some Indian companies are members of EP100. The International Energy Agency is the secretariat to the under to coalition. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option B. If rainforests and tropical forests are the lungs of Earth, then surely wetlands function as its kidneys. Which one of the following functions of wetlands best reflects the above statement? The water cycle in wetlands involves surface runoff, subsoil percolation, and evaporation. Algae form the nutrient base upon which fish, crustaceans, mollusks, birds, reptiles, and mammals thrive. Wetlands play a vital role in maintaining sedimentation balance and soil stabilization. Aquatic plants absorb heavy metals and excess nutrients. Option D. In the context of WHO air quality guidelines, consider the following statement. The 24-hour means PM 2.5 should not exceed 15 microgram per meter cube and annual mean of PM 2.5 should not exceed 5 microgram per meter cube. In a year, the highest levels of ozone pollution occurs during the period of inclement weather. PM 10 can penetrate the lung barrier and enter the bloodstream. Excessive ozone in the air can trigger asthma. Which of the given above statements are correct? Option B. With reference to Gucci sometimes mentioned in the news, consider the following statement. It is a fungus. It grows in some Himalayan forest area. It is commercially cultivated in the Himalayan foothills of northeastern India. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option C. With reference to polyethylene terephthalate, the use of which is so widespread in our daily life. Consider the following statement. Its fiber can be blended with wool and cotton fibers to reinforce their properties. Containers made of it can be used to store any alcoholic beverage. Bottle made of it can be recycled into other products. Articles made of it can be easily disposed of by incineration without causing greenhouse gas emission. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Which of the following is not a bird? Golden muxir, Indian nightjar, spoonbill, white ibis. Option A. Which of the following are nitrogen fixing plants? Alfalfa, amaranth, chickpea, clover, purslane, spinach. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A. Biorock technology is talked about in which one of the following situation? Restoration of damaged coral reefs, development of building materials using plant residues, identification of areas for exploration or extraction of shale gas, providing salt licks for wild animals in forests or protected areas. Option A. The Miyawaki method is well known for the promotion of commercial farming in arid and semi-arid areas, development of garden using genetically modified flora, creation of mini forests in urban areas, harvesting wind energy on coastal areas and on sea surfaces. Option C. Creation of mini forests in urban areas. In the Government of India Act 1919, the functions of provincial government were divided into reserved and transferred subjects. Which of the following were treated as reserved subjects? Administration of justice, local self-government, land revenue, police. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option C. In medieval India, the term phanum referred to clothing, coins, ornaments, weapons. Answer option B. Coins. Consider the following freedom fighters: Bharendra Kumar Ghosh, Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee, Rash Bihari Bose. Who of the above was actively associated with the Ghadar party? Option D. With reference to the proposals of Cripps mission, consider the following statements. The Constituent Assembly would have members nominated by the provincial assemblies as well as the princely states. Any province which is not prepared to accept the new constitution would have the right to sign a separate agreement with Britain regarding its future status. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option B. The reference to Indian history, consider the following state text. Netti, Pagarana, Parishishta, Parvan, Avadana Shadaga, Trishashti Lakshana Mahabhurana. Which of the above are Jaina texts? Option B. The reference to Indian history, consider the following pairs: Aryadeva, Jaina scholar; Dignaga, Buddhist scholar; Natha Muni, Vaishnava scholar. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? Option C. With reference to Indian history, consider the following statements. The first Mongol invasion of India happened during the regime of Jalaluddin Khalji. During the regime of Alauddin Khilji, when Mongol assault marched up to Delhi and besieged the city, Muhammad bin Tughlaq temporarily lost portions of northwest of his kingdom to Mongols. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option B. The reference to Indian history, who of the following were known as Gulagdar, Arab merchants, Qalandars, Persian calligraphists, Sayyids. Option D. With reference to Indian history, consider the following statements. The Dutch established their factories or warehouses on the east coast on lands granted to them by Gajapati rulers. Alfonso de Albuquerque captured Goa from Bijapur Sultanate. The English East India Company established a factory at Madras on a plot of land leased from a representative of Vijayanagara Empire. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option B. According to Kaudilya's Arthashastra, which of the following are correct? A person could be a slave as a result of judicial punishment. If a female slave bore her master a son, she was legally free. If a son born to a female slave was fathered by her master, the son was entitled to the legal status of the master's son. Which of the following of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Consider the following statements. Tight monetary policy of US Federal Reserve could lead to capital flight. Capital flight may increase the interest cost of firms with existing external commercial borrowings. Devaluation of domestic currency decreases the currency risk associated with ECBS. Option A. Consider the following states: Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Tripura. How many of the above are generally known as tree producing states? Consider the following statements. In India, credit rating agencies are regulated by Reserve Bank of India. The rating agency, popularly known as ICRA, is a public limited company. Brickwork Ratings is an Indian credit rating agency. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A. The reference to the Bank's Board Bureau. Which of the following statements are correct? The governor of RBI is the chairman of BBB. BBB recommends for the selection of heads for public sector banks. BBB helps the public sector banks in developing strategies and capital raising plans. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option B. The reference to convertible bonds. Consider the following statement. As there is an option to exchange the bond for equity, convertible bonds pay a lower rate of interest. The option to convert to equity affords the bondholder a degree of indexation to rising consumer prices. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option C. Consider the following. Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Missile Technology Control Regime, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India is a member of which of the above? Option D. Consider the following statements. Vietnam has been one of the fastest growing economies in the world in the recent years. Vietnam is led by multi-party political system. Vietnam's economic growth is linked to its integration with global supply chains and focus on exports. For a long time, Vietnam's low labor costs and stable exchange rates have attracted global manufacturers. Vietnam has the most productive e-service sector in the Indo-Pacific region. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option C. In India, which one of the following is responsible for maintaining price stability by controlling inflation? Department of Consumer Affairs, Expenditure Management Commission, Financial Stability and Development Council, Reserve Bank of India. Answer option D, Reserve Bank of India. With reference to non-fungible tokens, consider the following statements. They enable digital representation on physical assets. They are unique cryptographic tokens that exist on a blockchain. They can be traded or exchanged at equivalency and therefore can be used as medium of commercial transaction. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option A. Consider the following pairs. Ghataprabha, Telangana, Gandhi Sagar, Madhya Pradesh, Indira Sagar, Andhra Pradesh, Maithon, Chhattisgarh. How many pairs given above are not correctly matched? Option C. In India, which one of the following compiles information on industrial disputes, closure, retrenchment and layoffs in factories employing workers? Central Statistics Office, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Labor Bureau, National Technical Manpower Information System. Option C. Labor Bureau. In India, what is the role of Coal Controllers Organization? CCO is major source of coal statistics in Government of India. It, it monitors progress of development captive coal or lignite blocks. It hears any objection to the government's notification relating to acquisition of coal bearing areas. It ensures that coal mining companies deliver the coal to end users in the prescribed time. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option C. If a particular area is brought under the 5th schedule of Constitution of India, which one of the following statements best reflects the consequence of it? This would prevent the transfer of land of tribal people to non-tribal people. This would create a local self-governing body in that area. This would convert that area into a union territory. The state having such area would be declared a special category state. Answer option A. Consider the following statements. The Indian Sanitation Coalition is a platform to promote sustainable sanitation and is funded by the Government of India and World Health Organization. The National Institute of Urban Affairs is an apex body of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in Government of India and provides innovative solutions to address the challenges of urban India. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Which one of the following has been constituted under the Environment Protection Act 1986? Central Water Commission, Central Groundwater Board, Central Groundwater Authority, National Water Development Agency. Option C. The reference to the United Nations Credentials Committee, consider the following statement. It is a committee set up by UN Security Council and works under its supervision. It traditionally meets in March, June, September every year. It assesses the credentials of all UN members before submitting a report to the General Assembly for approval. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option A. Which one of the following statements best describes the Polar Code? It is the International Code of Safety for ships operating in polar water. It is the agreement of countries around the North Pole regarding the demarcation of their territories in the polar region. It is a set of norms to be followed by the countries whose scientists undertake research studies in the North Pole and South Pole. It is a trade and security agreement of the member countries of the Arctic Council. Option A. With reference to United Nations General Assembly, consider the following statements. The UN General Assembly can grant observer status to the non-member states. Intergovernmental organization can seek observer status in UN General Assembly. Permanent observer in the UN General Assembly can maintain mission at the UN headquarters. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. With reference to the T-board in India, consider the following statements. The T-board is a statutory body. It is a regulatory body attached to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. The T-board's head office is situated in Bangalore. The board has overseas offices at Dubai and Moscow. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Which one of the following best describes the term greenwashing? Conveying a flash impression that a company's products are eco-friendly and environmentally sound. Non-inclusion of ecological or environmental costs in the annual financial statements of a country. Ignoring the disastrous ecological consequence while undertaking infrastructure development. Making mandatory provision for environmental costs in government project or program. Option A. Consider the following statements. High cloud primarily reflect solar radiation and cool the surface of Earth. Low clouds have a high absorption of infrared radiation emanating from the Earth's surface and thus cause warming effects. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Consider the following statements. BDBD is a large refugee settlement in northwestern Kenya. Some people who fled from South Sudan civil war live in BDBD. Some people who fled from civil war in Somalia live in Dadaab refugee complex in Kenya. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option C. Consider the following countries. Armenia, Azerbaijan, Croatia, Romania, Uzbekistan. Which of the above are members of the Organization of Turkic States? Option C. Consider the following statement. Gujarat has the largest solar park in India. Kerala has a fully solar powered international airport. Goa has the largest floating solar photovoltaic project in India. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option B. Kerala has a fully solar powered international airport. With reference to the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, consider the following statements. A coastal state has the right to establish the breadth of its territorial sea up to a limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles, measured from baseline determined in the accordance with the convention. Ships of all states, whether coastal or landlocked, enjoy the right of innocent passage through the territorial sea. The exclusive economic zone shall not extend beyond 200 nautical miles from the baseline from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Which one of the following statements best reflects the issue with Senkaku Island, sometimes mentioned in the news? It is generally believed that they are artificial islands made by a country around South China Sea. China and Japan engage in maritime disputes over these islands in East China Sea, A permanent American military base has been set up there to help Taiwan to increase its defense capabilities. Though International Court of Justice declared them as man's land, some Southeast Asian countries claim them. Option B. Consider the following pairs. Chart setting up of permanent military base by China, Guinea, suspension of constitution and government by military, Lebanon severe and prolonged economic depression, Tunisia suspension of parliament by president. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? Option C. Answer the following pairs. Anatolia, Turkey, Amhara, Ethiopia, Cabo Delgado, Spain, Catalonia, Italy. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? Option B. With reference to Indian laws about wildlife protection, consider the following statements. Wild animals are the sole property of the government. When a wild animal is declared protected, such animal is entitled for equal protection whether it is found in protected areas or outside. Apprehension of a protected wild animal becoming a danger to human life is sufficient ground for its capture or killing. Which of the statements given above are correct? Option A. Certain species of which one of the following organisms are well known as cultivators of fungi and cockroach, crab, spider? Option A. Ant. Consider the following pairs. Dhauli, Odisha, Ragudi, Andhra Pradesh, Jaugada, Madhya Pradesh, Kalsi, Karnataka. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? Option B. Consider the following pairs. Nannuka, Chandela, Jayashakti, Paramara, Nagabata II, Gurjara, Pradihara, Boja, Rashtrakuda. How many pairs given above are correctly matched? Option B. Which one of the following statements about Sangam literature in ancient South India is correct? Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material culture. The social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic. Sangam literature refers to magical forces as irrational. Option B. Social. The social classification of Varna was known as Sangam poets. Yoga Vasishta was translated into Persian by Nizamuddin Panipati during the regime of Akbar, Humayun, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Option A. Akbar. The world's second tallest statue in sitting pose of Ramanuja was inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India at Hyderabad recently. Which one of the following statements correctly represents the teachings of Ramanuja? The best means of salvation was devotion. Vedas are eternal, self-existent, and wholly authoritative. Logical arguments were essential means for the highest bliss. Salvation was to be obtained through meditation. Option A. The Prime Minister recently inaugurated the new circuit house near Somma Temple at Veravel. Which of the following statements are correct regarding to Somnath Temple? Somnath Temple is one of the Jyotirlinga shrines. A description of Somnath Temple was given by Al-Biruni. Pran Pradishta of Somnath Temple, installation of the present-day temple, was done by President S. Radhakrishnan. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A. Which one of the following statements best describes the role of B cell and T cell in the human body? They protect the body from environmental allergens. They alleviate the body's pain and inflammation. They act as immunosuppressants in the body. They protect the body from the diseases caused by pathogens. Option D. Consider the following statements. Other than those made by human, nanoparticles do not exist in nature. Nanoparticles of some metallic oxides are used in manufacture of some cosmetics. Nanoparticles of some commercial products which enter the environment are unsafe for human. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Consider the following statements. DNA barcoding can be a tool to assess the age of a plant or animal, distinguish among species that look alike, identify undesirable animal or plant materials in processed foods. Which of these statements given above are correct? Option D. Consider the following: carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide. Excess of which of the above is in the environment are causes of acid rain? Answer: option B.